What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are doing fine, and I hope you are as excited as I am for 7.0. So, since a lot of you are constantly asking me regarding 7.0, I kind of had felt like that crafting seems a bit confusing for many of you. So I decided actually to make another video for crafting for 7.0. Yeah, yeah, let's just get started. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna try to explain you how the crafting system works in general. I know there are videos out there where which explain kind of the crafting a little bit, but I'm also gonna be telling you, how you can get the different items, recipes, materials, and also I'm going to be talking about the current materials, if you should keep them, if you should destroy them, or whatever is going on. Okay, so I'm going to be starting with the old materials. So for the old materials, the thing is that um, the old materials can't be obtained in the game anymore. So now we have to first we have to understand that Korean Aion is totally different from the European Aion. So in Korea, what they have done, obviously in Korea you would be dropping the current crafting materials either from Lacrum, which is that map, obviously, this place over here, and the second place where you would be dropping the current ones are in Duma, everywhere. And also in 7.2 they would add Catalam, and that's like basically the third location where you could obtain the crafting materials. But what they have done to minimize botting and all that bot issue which is going on, and in the mobs, the general normal mobs in Duma are definitely stronger than the ones in Lacrum. That's why they have actually decreased the amount you can get obtained, the items and everything from Lacrum, and they have increased it in Duma, which basically makes it kind of useless if you would be farming for hours in Lacrum. So the best place for you to farm would be in Duma. But that's only the case for Korea. I don't think this is gonna happen for European servers. Like, I haven't seen it anywhere yet, and it might change, it might doesn't. I don't know. I can't tell you that. But what I can definitely tell you is that either way, if you are in Lacrum or in Duma, there are certain items you will be getting easily, and there are certain ways which you can just increase the whole amount, how much items you are getting. So now the current items you have already, the malleability stones, which are the legendary ancient, ultimate, and all that, and also you have the Kibarium, which is like the current item which you need. So those items can't be obtained in the game anymore. Of course, there is a possibility that you could go ahead now and buy a lot of malleability stones and Kibarium and all that, because you can't physically drop them in the game anymore. But they are extremely needed. Like, the items, the material current items are extremely needed, even though you can't get them anymore. And let me explain to you why they are really needed. So if I go, for example, for PvP, for example, yeah, of course you need fragments, those ones, those fragments. You need them for upgrading your gear. You need them, if you're like a new beginner player, you need to do the garnisons. You need to get Genesis crystals and all that. And if you want to upgrade that, there is always a certain amount of fragments you will be needing before you are able to upgrade it from ancient to legendary and from legendary to ultimate. So in order to do that, the only way is either you go ahead and buy garnison gear, which is the Genesis crystal gear, and you just go ahead and destroy that, or you start crafting PvP gear, which is that one, for example, and you would craft it and you would destroy it straight away. So that's the technique how you would be obtaining fragments right now. And that's also the technique how you would do that with the coming patch 7.0. Now the issue is that if we look at the recipe for the new one, the materials will change. Now you probably would be thinking that, well, we can't farm the old materials. What's the point? It doesn't matter. Let's just go ahead and farm the new materials, craft the new items, and then you are able to extract that and get the fragments and all that. But guys, the thing is that it's not that simple. Let me explain to you why. So I'm going to be heading over to Lacroom, and I'm gonna give you an example. I'm not gonna be crafting right now because I don't want to make this video like too long, but I will try my best to explain it to you. So for example, if I want to craft a new weapon, for example, yeah, and I'm not gonna be going to the legendary and ultimates for now. I'm just gonna talk about one sword, for example. So if I want to craft this weapon, this would give me roughly I would get about 7 fragments. So probably I will be getting from one weapon, I will be getting 7 fragments. So to craft one weapon, I need this item, which you can compare to your Carbarium, your current Carbarium. I need this item, which I will explain to you in a minute, and you need this item, which is basically titania. So the current Carbarium, how do you obtain that? So to get that, you actually need to be in Lacroom, and you need to do every single mob that gives you the Carbarium right now will be giving you this new item. Okay, so the mobs at the beach, the mobs down there for the Asmodeans, the the ones down here for the Asmodeans, and for Ilios you have the mobs at the beach, but they are also everywhere on the map. Like they're everywhere. You can farm them. They have like a respawn time of like 3 minutes, I think, or like 5 minutes or something. They respawn quite quick, so you are able to get that material quite simple. And you need like 6 of them to create one sword. Also, and keep in mind, guys, that for PvP and for PvE you need the same material. There aren't any changes for the materials. So also you need this item, which need to be crafted. So to craft that, and now it's why it's really interesting. So you would need this item. So this item actually can be grinded in Lacroom and on the new map in Duma and in Lacroom. It drops insanely, like it just drops a lot, so it drops everywhere. So you can compare that item to the malleability stones, for example. And also you need this item, which you can buy then from the NPC. I can show you the pricing. It's kind of similar to what we had right now. So I mean, let's say if I buy like 100 or whatever, 730k, and so it is definitely a bit expensive. And also I need titania. So for the titania, it's really important, because for titania, first of all, to be able to get the titania, you need an item which is called that one, which is like a hammer, which is like a gathering item. So this one you can buy from Duma and from the altars. I mean, I'm not gonna. I have done another video to Stellar coins, and I'm explaining the whole Stellar situation quite well. So I'm not gonna be repeating myself. Just go ahead and watch my other video for that. I'm gonna be putting in the description. So with the Stellar coins, like with this hammer, you are able to gather titania, which will be everywhere in the new map Duma. So whatever you're doing, I strongly suggest you that you should gather stellium, or titanium as much as you can. So to use titania to craft it into this item, you actually need one more item. So the second item, you can obtain it from this NPC in your main base in Lacroom. So since I'm an Asmodean right now, I have to go to this NPC. So for Ilios, it would be at the same location, like somewhere here. And this NPC, actually, I can buy the item, which is that one. So since as I said that I need like for the weapon, I need something similar than what I need for the other one. So I need 24 of those, yeah. So 24, which means that I need like 24 of those, And now this is the juicy part. Look, the price for that is actually Abyss points, and obviously if I would craft the legendary ones is 6,000, and if I craft the ultimate one is 12,000, which basically means that, let's say for example I need 24 of the golden ones, that would cost me already nearly 100,000 Abyss points. So I would pay for 24 that item plus the titania. I would pay 100,000. So now imagine that you need the fragments and you would start creating the new weapons or the new gear in general, and you would be spending for each weapon 100,000 Abyss points just to be able to craft it, to destroy it later on, to extract it, to get the fragments. Obviously that makes no sense at all. So that's the reason why you need the old weapons, or I mean why you need to craft the old versions, which as you can see already, you need definitely lesser items to be able to get that. Now the thing is that now you could say, well Philo, but you just said a few minutes ago you can't obtain the old items anymore. Exactly, you can't obtain them, but there is a possibility that you can change the new ones into the old ones. So if you just go ahead and gather the new ones anyways, which you have to do because you have to craft your weapon since it's the best PvE weapon. So either if you do PvP, PvE, doesn't matter, you have to get that item anyways. So go ahead and get it, and then what you can do is you will automatically have the option over here. You can use it to transform it into the Cubarium, which is the previous item. Same with the second item. You need those malleability stones. To get the malleability stones, you can go ahead and either extract it from the legendaries, but also there's a possibility where you can just, let me go to the recipe because I don't want to talk about it if I'm not showing you the recipe. There you go. Look, so I can use that item and transform it into the malleability zone. Now the issue is that this process takes longer, but it's definitely more efficient because you just save a lot of money. Okay, so this is something you need to be doing with your old materials and new materials. If you still have the possibility, if you have the Kina, I know that a lot of in many servers the prices went quite high already for those items, because I have been saying that in my streams as well. So this is definitely one option you should consider, that if you want to get ready for 7.0, try to get as much as old materials as possible. There is a possibility to change them into the new ones, which I would definitely not suggest to you because the change rate is really really bad. So just craft the old gear like weapon or whatever, and then just go ahead and extract it and use to get fragments or whatever. Okay, so that's the PvP part, that's the fragment part, that's the old and new material wise what exactly is happening. So now let's go back to the window. Let's open it back again. Since I said that this is one of the most important things what you would be doing, also I explained to you how you are able to get those ones. Now the second question is, after you have, like for example, the PvE crafted already and it's procced to to that version, how to continue. I mean, I know that many streamers or YouTube or people whatever are usually talking about the gear, but they usually just talk about the golden ones. So the question is, how do you get the legendaries? Of course, thank you for asking. I can explain to you. So for the legendaries, you actually need to do bosses for that. So obviously you need to proc the version, and then you need the better version of that item, the ancient one I showed you, and that one can actually be obtained from Duma mainly, I would suggest. So in Duma, there are many bosses, and these bosses will spawn also even here in Lacrum. You probably know the bosses as like the 6-hour bosses. They usually spawn after every 6 hours, and those ones drop in an insane amount of those legendaries. So you will have a high possibility to obtain lots of legendaries. Just keep in mind that you can transform them also into the legendary Cubarium if by any case you would want to upgrade your ancient ones, the previous ones, to just receive more fragments. Okay, so also with that, let's get to the next item, which is also a legendary item. To obtain that, it's the same thing. You would need that item. It also drops in dungeons, by the way, and it drops in open world like the malleability stones. So it's basically the same thing. This, wherever you get the ones from before, that's basically the same place, and it also, the world bosses and all that will be dropping them as well, and the dungeons will also give you those items. Also, if you're lucky enough, you will probably be getting those items also from the logbook. So that's that, and that item is obviously you will be buying it from the NPC, as I said before. So now let's get to the next stage of Titania. So the Titania is the same thing. You need a huge amount of that, and as I just explained to you, that for the other version, because you do need the same amount, there is a possibility that you can just go ahead and use the NPC, and it will actually, the price will be much higher. So let me just show you. So I need 48 now. So 48 will be, let's see, 288,000 Abyss points. And because we are already at the NPC, let's check already for the next one, which are let's see, 96. So for 96 you would spend, I think it's about 1.1 mil Abyss points. So this is definitely needed, and this is something you will be doing a lot, so keep that in mind. If you try to do your dungeons, if you try to, like, if you feel like you don't want to do dredging, you don't want to do the mine at the top here, you don't want to do all the other dungeons that just gives you usually around, if you lose 180k or something, or if you win you get like 360k, I think, and you just feel like not doing it, well, to be honest, it's kind of really needed. You should definitely do that, because by doing those dungeons, you might just get the amount of Abyss points you need for crafting in general, because as you can see, it will be really expensive. Okay, so now again, you see the Titania, the legendary Titania. Again, how can you obtain that one? When you collect Titania in the world of Duma, or in the world of Catalan later with 7.2, there is a possibility that you won't be getting one for each gathering. You will be getting a certain amount. Sometimes you get like two, sometimes you get like three, sometimes you get like five. So it's always different. And there's also a possibility that you get like ancient Titania, you get the ultimate, you get the legendary. So if you're like really active and you're like collecting Titania per day, there's a high possibility that in the end you will have like a good amount of ancient, legendary, and ultimates, and you will be able to do your crafting straight away. Also, since I was just talking about exchanging old material or new materials into the old ones, what exactly can you exchange Titania for? So Titania is actually, you can use that to craft those extra items which are needed to actually be able to craft the old weapons or gear or accessory or whatever. So I don't know if you remember those items here. I think one of them was you would be getting it from the boss, and second one you was getting it, like you would get it from Prometheus or something like that. So if in the future you can just go ahead and get the Titania, and then just transform it back into that item. Same with that one, the ultimates. So if you get those ultimate version of this item, you can just transform it back to that one, like I just explained to you with the ancient and also I explained to you with the legendary. So this is basically these are all the items related for crafting gear, PvP, PvE, if you want to create fragments, and also weapons and accessory. So this is basically everything related to that. Now let me get to the second really important thing with crafting. Of course you have your Genesis crystals, as I explained in another video. Just try to, get that box every week. Like, don't forget that box. Um, don't mind those boxes over here. Just ignore those boxes. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be getting those. If we do, I'm going to be explaining you them. But for now, I don't think we're going to be getting any of those items. But what we're definitely going to be getting are those mana stones. And yes, many of you asked me if there is a possibility to just keep the current mana stones and, use them, like destroy them and use them as crafting material. Sadly, this is not possible because if you go through the mana stones, you'll see that you can't use them as crafting material. So what exactly am I talking about? Same here. So there's a possibility that you can craft mana stones. So depending on your class, depending on whatever you're going for, you can just go ahead and you can craft mana stones. So for mana stones, and their mana stones are definitely better than the ones right now, they also have a proc version. In Korea, the proc version is tradable. I don't know if they will keep that in on the European servers as well, but let's see. So again, you need the same item which I just explained to you how to obtain that. You also need this item, which let's see, it's basically another version of that. Um, but is the recipe at the same location? Because I think it's at the same location. Uh, yeah, it's basically that item. So for the mana stones to craft that, you actually need this scroll, which is on the other side. So let's say you need like three. Three cost 21,000. So to craft each, you would be paying like 21,000, which is, I mean, it's fine, I guess. Okay, so that's that. Again, you have the item I just told you about. You can farm that everywhere in the map. It's like you can compare that with malleability stones. So the materials are quite simple. The whole crafting system is quite simple, I believe. And you have the titania again. This time it's the straight titania. You don't have to upgrade it to anything. You can just use it straight away. And also you need slot stones. You need many slot stones. But as I just told you, with the slot stones, since you're going to be crafting materials, since you want to be crafting weapons for your main character, you will have a lot of weapons which you don't need. Just destroy them. Just try to get like 10,000 of slot stones, then you should be fine for a certain time, I guess. 10,000 is actually a good amount. Other than that, try to sell those items as much as you can, because I mean you can make good Kina out of it as well. So now we have one more item, one new item. I don't know why it's keep moving back up. That's kind of annoying. So the last item which is missing, it's like that. It looks like a destroyed powder, and this item actually can be obtained from the recipe, which you will probably have already. If you don't, you can go into the Fortress Duma next to your straw house guy. There will be an NPC selling recipes, and what you can do actually, you can use mana stones, any mana stone. I mean, I'm really loving this fact. So you can, let's say you go to any dungeon, or you're doing something or events or whatever, and you're getting like, I don't know, MP mana stones or defense mana stones, those ones that you usually don't need, and the ones you usually end up like, I don't know, throwing away or just selling on the broker for like 6,000 or something. There is a possibility what you can do, you can just extract them. If you extract them, what you get is this powder, and the powder is actually needed to craft mana stones again. So depending on what exactly you want to craft, that depends what kind of powder you need, you know. So legendary mana stones, ultimate star mana stones, they all can be destroyed and distracted. And well, yeah, you can use the powder to actually to craft mana stones again. So that's that regarding mana stones. I'm checking. I mean, there will be adding another. Well, this is buff food. If you, I mean, gonna just hover over it to show you. So you can also farm this item everywhere. Gathering needs to be at 100. 100 is enough to farm the highest item, which is titania. And also you can craft potions again, and those ones. So this item will be everywhere in Lacrum, in Duma. There is a high possibility that you can, obtain it quite simple. Okay, so those items we probably won't be getting those. That's probably that's the main reason why crafting is so important. Um, because you are not able to craft this box. This box actually has the strongest 7.0 weapon, but since you are not able to craft this box, we need to be crafting the PvE crafting weapon to just have like a strong PvE weapon. Yeah, I mean, that's basically it regarding crafting. I mean, to be honest, I don't feel that crafting is that insane or confusing or whatever. It's quite simple, and to be honest, if you play active as an active Korean player, I can tell you that if you are playing active, um, there is a high possibility that you will be getting most of those items just by playing active Aion. Okay, so yeah, that's basically it. Um, if you have more questions regarding anything, just put them into the description. I know that some of you are asking me to do the whole thing also in German. My videos and everything. But right now I just don't have that much time to do that. But I do stream a lot, so if you guys just pop into my stream and just want to have like a one-to-one or straight answer, whatever, that's probably the better option to go for. Just join my Twitch. Um, the link should be somewhere in the middle here. And yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. All your help and everything is much appreciated. I would love it if you guys just follow me on Twitch, because I'm kind of shifting or moving everything to Twitch right now. So if you, I don't know, as you can probably see already, that I'm going more and more inactive on YouTube. That's probably one of the reasons why. Okay, thank you very much for everything. I hope I'm gonna see you soon. If there is anything, let me know. Thank you very much for everything. See you. Take care and bye.